Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Well, hello again and welcome to We're Going Down the Pub, issue number 68.
Is it
in
really?
grand total.
Oh my
yes, it is. With me, Frank Williams, and of course, Mr. Simon Wright, as at last we can move on to away matches in February after I've done all those in January. One of which of the January ones will rear its ugly head again because we will have to re-release the Gosport guide in early March, which is when the rearranged match. That match could end up bouncing around the fixture list all season, as it's bounced around 3 times already. It's already on its had its third date moved. Yeah. But it was original, then it was a rescheduled, then it's going to be moved again. So
I'd imagine we'll end up with a very antique programme when we eventually go.
We might have to redo it, which would mean another trip over here to the Eddy.
No. Surely not. Perhaps there's some proper beer by then.
Yeah,
Wye Valley beer, I hasten to add.
Yes, but it's not all.
We've got the Wye Valley Brewery glasses, but there's not Wye Valley beer inside them.
It isn't. I'm going to say sadly, but it's always nice to try other beers, and this is very nice. It's called Inferno. But we could have moved down the road and had BFG, but after had a couple of pints of these, we probably wouldn't make it down the road.
We're feeling very mellow now.
And they've moved their Christmas tree, so we can now sit in that corner. Yeah. I'm not sure they've vacked since Christmas in there, though.
Gosh.
So there might be some pine needles around, and we wouldn't want those, would we? Farnborough.
I can see the point of that. Farnborough, yes, indeed. Now, we could say thank you very much to Nick Jones, who's done one of his very comprehensive guides for us.
Yes, it's about 4 lines, actually.
All 4
comprehensive,
lines.
We will call it succinct.
Succinct, there you go. Perhaps I've just and cut most of it out, but and we must also say thank you very much, if they do get to hear this. The fixture secretary, Phil Martin at Farnborough, was particularly helpful to Nick.
Well, now you see, you talk about us cutting things out of the broadcast. What about their club? Because they were cutting the wage bill more than anything else.
I mean, this...
At Farnborough.
Yes, I mean, not many people have picked up on this, but they've dramatically cut their wage bill in January.
Well, what we have noticed about them is that they are very capable, as they've beaten us, at Edgar Street, one of the few. They've been a second, but then they lost 7-1 last week, and they can win 3-0, and they can then lose 5-0 or whatever. They just seem to be.
Well, they were.
They're not. They're the most inconsistent team in the league, aren't they? But it isn't. They don't have close run things. It's all, either win heavily or lose heavily.
That's right. That's very much how it's been. I think they're going to lose a lot more now because they've lost so many of their senior players.
That's because they're cutting the wage.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Curitan's the one everybody's going to notice. He was the first to go, which actually doesn't help us very much because he's joined Bishop Stortford and we play them 3 days later anyway. But I mean, 4 or 5 of their names, if Farnborough players consent to have names, they've all moved on. So it'd be very different.
Right, well, they're cut a year ago as didn't they?
They did. So
a cull. So we call it a cull.
A cull, yes.
You wouldn't want to go there if your name was Badger, would you really?
Oh, goodness me. I can't cope with this. So the Farnborough side we're likely to play is going to be a very young one, learning on the job for next season.
They're not going.
Like that. They're not going down. They know that, so they can experiment a bit. But you might imagine with that scenario, with all those coals, a lot of gloom. But when Nick was there, all the pitch was being used, lots of kids on the pitch.
Maybe. But of course, everybody would be upbeat because they're going to be talking about us coming and bringing them some money.
Oh, you cynic! They're just happy, smiling people, apparently.
Right.
All year round.
Okay, good. We know what that means.
Yeah.
Thugs on the pitch, usually, don't we?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
Now, Farnborough, and possibly the biggest ground in the division.
Bigger even than King's Lynn.
It's on that scale. Yeah. It's on that scale.
But of course, it has been at conference level.
It has.
Been up there.
Yeah,
We've come across them before.
We have, and we hammered them several times before, you know.
Yeah.
They've got, well, I'll just rattle through what they do have. They've got what's the Prospect Road End stand, known as the PRE. For obvious
Well, how
reasons.
unusual is that? The
Yeah.
Prospect Road End
stand
called the PRE.
That's
Wow.
an all-seater stand, disabled area at each end.
Right.
And on the touchline, I've got the John O'Hara stand. I'm not sure who John O'Hara is, former player, I would guess. And that's split between a terraced half and a seated half.
Oh, that's where we'll be then, behind the pillars. I
With the
expect,
pillars, yeah. And then there's the Moor Road end, that's the MRE.
Oh,
original stuff.
they're so bad.
Yeah, it's a terrace with broad steps and a narrow roof. And then the final side is two parts. The Chairman's Mound, which sounds rather... I know you can't take this seriously, can you? Trying to keep a straight face here.
I hope the chairman is
Mound.
male.
Yeah, what do you do? You would hope so, yeah. Chairman's Mound. It's a small uncovered terrace. And then next to it is the Charles Mortimer stand, which is where you find the dressing rooms, club bar, director's area, press box, etc. And that's partly covered with some open seats at the front.
Right.
Yes, okay. Now,
Love it, I love it.
I'll just sort of, the ground capacity is thought to be 6,500,
Right.
with attendances between 250 and 400. So
Here we go,
peas in the drum,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
so
yeah.
bring us on, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Nick did, of course, ask about beer, as he's been programmed to.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, they serve beer in the bar, which is a bit of a novelty.
Well, no, but, I tend to find most clubs serve beer in bar.
Yeah, they do.
In the bar, it's when they let us in.
Yes.
Is
Well,
the-
that's not going to be a problem.
They're not segregated.
We're not being segregated. No plans, no need to in a ground that big with their attendances.
Well, it'd be very difficult actually finding anybody
Yeah.
to actually be
segregate us
segregated
with,
from.
Yep, and the bar is...
I thought that was very interesting. You weren't
Yeah.
at Wealdstone,
No.
but they put on one side of the ground there's a small covered seated area which a broadcasting unit was in, and it went sort of 15 yards either side of the touchline. Then you had, and they cordoned off the grassed area, and it must have been, I don't know, 15 or 20 metres up with great gates across there. That was the buffer zone between the two sets of supporters, and and there was nobody within 20 yards of it. So they were very, very, very over the OTT.
So, I mean, that was an attendance which is only a third of the ground capacity.
Well, yes, because
What's the fuss about?
none of theirs turned up.
No,
I mean,
we said they wouldn't.
No, that's right. Yeah. Mind you, none of theirs turn up every week. In fact, they haven't got any to turn up. So,
No, true.
Anyway, that's
Okay.
right. Okay.
So, anyway, Farnborough, okay?
Yeah.
Now we said
Beer. We're talking
yeah,
about beer.
okay. Yeah, it's a large bar, it's got live football on the telly. Apparently the beer is not very inspiring, but apparently Phil did ask what was popular amongst Bulls fans. Now, Nick didn't actually say whether he told them,
Right.
but I do hope that means we're going to get some proper beer. I hope.
Good. We'll find
Okay,
out.
we
Yeah.
will. Okay, as people will have been to Farnborough before, will remember there's a large car park outside. I think it goes around most of the ground. There is a £2 charge, but I suppose they're hard up, so it's probably fair enough. Ticket prices, it's top end prices, it's the South. £12 adults.
Well, it's not top end in comparison with King's Lynn.
No,
So, yeah.
they're over the top, aren't they? And if you're over 60, it's £10.
Right.
£6 for 16 to 21-year-olds, and if you're under 16, it's free admission.
That's quite good. Yep.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, now do bear in mind the town centre is a 20-minute walk. It's really one of those out-of-town
it
jobs,
is,
so
yep.
you might even be worth getting a taxi, frankly, to get out there. But there's a few places that Nick has recommended. Again, he very selflessly has visited them, What a noble chap he is. The camera stalwart is the Prince of Wales. Okay, it's not a terribly large pub, but if you are a fan of any of these, Andwell, Dark Star, Fuller's, Ringwood and Hopback, then you should be well happy. And there's 5 guests on top of that, plus real cider, plus food.
Very good.
And if you're getting off a train at Farnborough North Station, it's right next door. So
That's excellent stuff.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, we always have to mention the local spoons. It's the Tilly Shilling, and that's on Victoria Road. That's handy if you're getting off at Farnborough Main Station. Again, they're very good at the local beers. They do Ascot Ales, Bingham's or Hogsback again.
Right now, Tilly Shilling,
Tilly Shilling.
who was Tilly Shilling.
Oh my word! Do you know, Frank? 'Cause
I do
don't.
indeed.
Are you going to tell
I am. I'll
everybody?
tell you. Tilly Shilling. Her name actually was Beatrice Shilling.
Right.
Nickname was shortened to Tilly. OBE, PhD, MSc. 8th of March 1909 till the 18th of November 1990. Now, for a woman, all right, she was a British aeronautical engineer and motor racing driver.
I didn't think that was allowed.
I know. During the Second World War, she married, by the way, a bomber pilot from 625 Squadron. All right, so there's another aeronautical link for you.
Right,
But
right.
she invented Miss Shilling's orifice.
No.
Now, hang on. Miss Shilling's orifice is a small metal disc similar to a metal washer that restricted fuel flow to the carburettor, helping prevent engine stall in the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines of the Hawker Hurricane and Supermarine Spitfire. All right, because they found that during in the Battle of Britain, they were finding that during certain manoeuvres, the engines were stalling.
Oh Lord.
And she invented this device, which earned her the OBE, PhD, MSc, engineering, whatever. That for a woman working in during the Second World War to come up with that invention, just restricting the flow to stop the stall, because the stall was caused by when they were doing loop to loops and whatever these manoeuvres, too much petrol was getting through the engine, they were stalling, and she just invented this little disc, and it was called Miss Shilling's orifice.
It's a rare bit of humour for those times.
And
wow.
Yeah, which of course it says here. It causes it to lose power or even completely cut out during certain manoeuvres, a significant disadvantage in active service.
Yeah, you can imagine that, can't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
but she raced motorbikes in the 1930s, and after the war, she raced cars. She gave that up because they were invariably too quick for her, I think.
So there you go.
Anyway, that's Tilly Shilling.
I'm impressed, Frank.
I would. She actually comes from Walthamstow, so why they named the pub in Farnborough after her, probably because of the aerodrome. The Farnborough Air Show and so on, and therefore there's a link there. But if you look her up in Wikipedia, you will find that one of the entries in that is that she does have the pub, which was opened in 2011, the Spoons, in Farnborough, has been named and dedicated to her. Wow. For that reason, that's Tilly Shilling. So there you are. That's padded this one out.
I sit back in amazement. I'm very impressed.
Yes,
That's
but
okay.
what struck me was that a woman in engineering in those days was remarkable anyway.
Yes.
But to be in such high profile, I think marrying a bomber pilot probably helped.
Yes.
You get a little bit of cred out of that, I would think that. But that's Tilly Shilling.
Yes, there you go. So go to that Spoons and remember Tilly Shilling.
Yes, exactly, because there's all pictures, memorabilia of
Look out for her orifice,
as well. They're bound to be. There's bound to be an example of Tilly Shilling's orifice, probably around.
Sorry, getting there. We have been in the past. It's 118 miles. It's quite an awkward trip, if I remember rightly, but I'm sure we'll work it out. By train, it is doable, albeit tedious. It's 4 hours each way from the Shire, plus a 25-minute walk in each direction. So again, our London Southern Exiles are going to be laughing with this because they get regular fast services to Waterloo.
But they still have to do the 25-minute walk.
They do, quite right. We'll serve them right for having an easy trip.
Absolutely, yeah. And Reg, of course, the details are up there already. Reg's already posted this one.
Yes.
So, in fact, he posted, you can work out when we did this recording because he posted it earlier this evening.
Did he really?
Indeed.
Must have known.
So he's getting ready for February already. So that's
there you go, that's Farnborough.
Yeah, indeed, and we look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully you can all make it, and then we'll be back with you very soon for some more February guides. We'll take a little break from recording now for a few weeks because we're up to date.
Enjoy.
Absolutely, and we'll catch up with you again very, very soon. Bye for now.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.